Dean Martin once said that the greatest gift Hollywood ever gave him wasn't fame, it was the people. And when you hear which 5 men he chose to carry in his heart forever, the last name on the list might genuinely surprise you. He spent decades surrounded by legends, sold-out showrooms, standing ovations, his name in lights across Las Vegas. But when Dean looked back at his life, it wasn't the applause he remembered first. It was the conversations that stretched past midnight, the phone calls that came when nobody else bothered, the quiet moments of loyalty that never once made the front page. Frank Sinatra came first, not at the top of the list, but at the beginning of the story, because no honest telling of Dean's life could leave him out. They were different men in almost every way. Frank needed to be in command. Dean was content to let things unfold, and somehow, that contrast made them perfect together. What the audiences never saw was what happened backstage. 2 men who didn't always need words, just the comfort of knowing the other was nearby. Dean didn't remember every performance they shared. He remembered the laughter after the curtain fell. Jerry Lewis was something else entirely. Before either of them were legends, they were just 2 hungry young men, convinced they had something worth showing the world. Jerry was unpredictable, electric, impossible to contain. Dean never tried to match him. He simply stayed steady, and that balance became magic. Martin and Lewis packed theaters without a blueprint, without a guarantee. When they eventually went their separate ways, it wasn't dramatic. They simply grew into different people, as friends sometimes do. But Dean never forgot what Jerry gave him in those early years. Proof that real chemistry between 2 people cannot be faked. Then there was Sammy Davis Jr., a man Dean described as someone who never forgot where he came from, no matter how high he rose. Sammy had endured things most people couldn't imagine, faced prejudice that would have broken a lesser man. Instead, he channeled everything into his craft and treated every person around him, from stagehands to senators, with the same genuine respect. Dean said it was watching Sammy off stage that impressed him most. Greatness, he believed, starts with how you behave when no one is looking. John Wayne was a different kind of giant. When Dean worked alongside him on Rio Bravo, he saw a man who had nothing left to prove and still gave everything. Duke was prepared, generous, and quietly kind to anyone who was nervous around him. Between scenes one afternoon, Wayne told Dean something that never left him. That at the end of the day, nobody remembers how many hours you worked. They remember whether you came home. And then, Elvis Presley, the name that surprises people most. Dean didn't see just the screaming crowds or the gold records. He saw a young man carrying impossible expectations with remarkable grace. Someone who listened more than he spoke and made everyone around him feel genuinely seen. When Elvis was gone far too soon, it was a reminder Dean carried quietly for the rest of his life. That fame offers no guarantees, and none of us truly knows how much time we have left. 5 men, 5 different journeys, 1 shared quality. They never stopped being themselves. If you found this story worth hearing, hit like and subscribe. There are many more lives worth remembering.